more seriously thinking about the wars going on in the world today. And as you know, war and military conquest has been a big part of Roman society and culture, and it I think has been a big part of most empires and dynasties throughout human history. So
Yeah, they usually uh, came as a result of conquest. I mean,
yeah,
there's some like the Austro-Hungarian Empire where there was just a lot of sort of clever marriages. Um,
but fundamentally, there's an engine of conquest, and they
yes,
celebrate
almost always.
excellence in warfare. Many of the leaders were excellent generals,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So, big picture question, Grok approved. I asked this is a good question to ask.
Kid tested, Grok approved.
Yeah. At least on fun mode. Uh, uh, to what degree do you think war is part of human nature versus a consequence of how human societies are structured? I ask this as you have somehow controversially been a proponent of peace.
I'm generally a proponent of peace. I mean, ignorance is perhaps, in my view, the real enemy to be countered. That's the real hard part, not, fighting other humans. But all creatures fight. I mean, the jungle is you look at people think of this nature as perhaps some sort of peaceful thing, but in fact, it is not. There's some quite funny Werner Herzog thing where he's like in the jungle, like saying that it's like basically just murder and death in every direction.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the plants and animals in the jungle are constantly trying to kill and eat each other every single day, every minute. So it's not like we're unusual in that respect.
Well, there's a relevant question here whether with greater intelligence comes greater control over these base instincts for violence.
Yes, we have much more of an ability to control our limbic instinct for violence than, say, a chimpanzee. And in fact, if one looks at, say, chimpanzee society, it is not friendly. I mean, the bonobos are an exception, but chimpanzee society is filled with violence, and it's quite horrific, frankly. That's our limbic system in action. Like, you don't want to be on the wrong side of a chimpanzee. It'll eat your face off and tear your nuts off.
Yeah, basically, there's no limits or ethics or the Romans had just war. There's no just war in in chimpanzee societies. Is war and dominance by any means necessary?
Yeah, chimpanzee society is like a primitive version of human society. They're not like peace loving, basically, at all. There's extreme violence, and then once in a while, somebody who's watched too many Disney movies decides to raise a chimpanzee as a pet, and then that eats their face or rips their nuts off or chews their fingers off, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's happened several times.
ripping your nuts off is an interesting strategy for interaction.
It's happened to people. It's unfortunate. Like that's, I guess, one way to ensure that the other chimp doesn't, contribute to the gene pool.
Well, from a martial arts perspective, it's a fascinating strategy.
The nut ripper.